Hmm. Hold on. This is your disabled combat veteran. After 9/11, Michael Commiso and the Battle Buddies. I still feel like I'm getting set up back home for war. You know, you did enough to serve your country, and everybody trusted you to be an American hero as a veteran. So now everybody sits there and they use if they didn't find enough in your life to screw your life over, people get mad at you. They find out that you're a really nice person. You have a good heart. You care about people. Serving your country is a big deal for me. So I'm going to group therapy. I feel like you know, I try to socialize as a veteran. Everybody makes a big deal that it's hard to make friends with veterans. It happened fast, though. See, when I was in uniform as a soldier and everything, I try to make people laugh with my YouTube videos, but I guess we live in some kind of fucked up, serious world where everybody sits back and act like it's so hard to help each other out to where what it means to be good friends to each other in the world. So I don't feel like I lost that as Commiso. I would feel like, making YouTube videos over the years. I don't know. I don't know how crooked the world is. Because it feels for us to want to have good to happen and change and chill in the world, how crooked the world is. So I don't know. Being a veteran, I don't know. Michael Commiso, I'm a disabled combat veteran. But I don't think that means anything, does it? You're making that clear to me. You know, when you're in your uniform, people made you proud that you served your country. And America is a cool country. I feel like no matter what you did to me as a veteran, I'm still cool on the internet. That's how cool it is to be a disabled combat veteran. As in my mind, I feel like the reason why I have difficulty speaking to people is, for one, nobody actually gives me time to speak it. Where I got hit in the head, so I'm not trying to claim anything but I feel like I got hit in the head enough where maybe a little concussion going on I feel like I have a little concussion going on in my mind. So I smoke medical marijuana for a reason, because for one, I'm a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. Everybody sits there and act like weed it came out yesterday on the streets, and I'm like, it's part of our culture. You know, you confuse people. You know, you make movies in America, and it's American television. And I feel like I did enough in my life for everybody to say I did enough in my life. But then I'm like, what's enough in our lives? I'm 40 years old. Because I really do want, I was trying to really do art on the internet. But it's hard to do the art on the internet because the sites that you claim that you want me to trust these sites, the law model, you're, I feel like it's back in his time or his history where people had to find a reason to blame something. Oh, it's the internet's fault. So now we're going to screw up internet sites on the internet, and then we're all going to be in Great Depression because how many people are going to be on the internet if you allow the internet to fail in the future? So whoever's trying to screw up the internet, it's not going to benefit actually really nobody if you really think about it. Because we live in a world where I was actually trying to go on American Got Talent. First, I wanted to go on American Idol, but then I said I'm not really feel like it. I needed more education on singing, and where I have a speech impediment. So maybe in my mind it sounds good, and I feel like I'm trying to sound like the singer that sang the song. But singing a song is not actually singing. You have to have some kind of singing voice. And I feel like with my speech impediment, I don't know what type of speech, you know. And then I'm like, well, I tried to sing for a little bit. And I'm like, well, it takes time to pick up singing, I feel like. But then there's more to me than you all claim you see. I feel like people call, traveling around the world, it's not an easy thing, I don't feel, but it should be an easy thing. If we allow us to go further in life in future, we got to learn how to chill out in the world. I don't feel like I can chill out so far because everybody's always there. Anything I do, I'm like, but I think the whole purpose of having law on the internet is the law is there for you so you won't make a mistake and nobody will break the law. That's the whole purpose of the internet. But that's not how it works. I get panic attacks when I use the internet because I try to go in the right direction on the internet. And I feel like if a site been up for years, but then they blame this internet site. See? So everybody's hiding the fact that they use the internet in the first place. Even though that's funny. I'm trying to be a comedian. I try to narrate. I got a speech impediment. So, but that doesn't mean I can't learn how to act with my speech impediment where for a person that has a learning disability and got this far in life, I'm like, damn, how mean, crooked the world is. It's so hard to believe we live in a crooked world like that. It's hard to believe. Because I try to, I don't know, that's another reason why I feel like veterans smoke medical marijuana. because we came back up from home from war, fucked up war on the internet. Everything is media. Everything is media. It's on fucking television. Everybody's lives is on television. So, I'm not trying to out cool people. I don't even think people try to party with me back home from war. Because I'm an easy person. And with my hometown law, just because I want to win my case doesn't make me a bad guy, right? I feel like we live in the 21st century online, and we came to some kind of a agreement of having the internet as people. So I feel like nowadays, you have to have. I feel like if you go to like a real decent college, even if it's not as good of a college, you need the internet for everything. You need the internet for school. You need your computer. You have to have your own computer when you go. I feel like as a school supply, you have to have your own laptop if you go to college. So if I'm trying to rely on the internet, I'm trying to rely on the internet as a customer service. I'm not trying to call people names or bully people. Or if anybody read about my YouTube channel is about it's not cool to bully each other on the internet. And the first thing you guys do is you call me a name and bully me. And it's kind of weird. I see why I have trouble breathing. It's not because I feel like, I'm out of shape, but I don't feel like I'm that out of shape, but I have the weight to be a good bodybuilder right now, but I think I see why veterans are upset. And I'm only 40 years old. I think and to be a wise veteran, you got to be in your 80s or not, and a wise veteran in the 80s and 90s or something. But I'm in my 40s. And I feel like I hit on a lot of key points in the classroom. The teacher calls on you and asks you a question, and I have a speech impediment. So I'm really nervous, right? So I don't know how much socialization you think I had, and just because people hack your lives and sit there, I guess that show is called Catfish. Hey, my hometown law, I don't know if it's my hometown law is catfishing me or something. I'm not out showing people, or I'm just trying to get the math right in my life. But it shouldn't be that hard. Internet is a simple tool to use. Internet is not a complicated thing to use. As now, I was born in 1985. It's weird. I can't believe it. And that's the messed up part. I'm a goofy Michael Commiso. I feel like I tried to be goofy in high school, where I was on the wrestling team, and you act like Commiso didn't get bullied in school, but I don't know if everybody liked me in school or not. Sometimes it's not. People make it obvious if they hate you or not, right? So, I served my country. So I don't know how much time you need to use the internet for people to take time out of their lives to call your name and make fun of you and try to screw your life over on purpose online. I don't think that's the future of the internet. Then yeah, I said, not everybody's my, I got combat PTSD, so everybody's my enemy, right? I've been on a lot of convoys. Eventually I trained with my company. I know you all act like you could get the story, right? But it's my life. I should write a book about my life online. Not everybody else. I know who I am. So if people took me the wrong way, I feel like that's all the internet does. Is everybody takes each other the wrong way on everything you do on the internet. But I'm just a goofy guy. I don't feel like I have any type, just because people, I think it sucks how easy it is we could get along with each other as people in the world. And then I feel like the law should be some kind of simple thing. If it's not, it's complicated. I don't understand the law, and I'm a disabled combat veteran. I served my country because I felt like I had to do something after 9/11. When I sat there in high school and saw 9/11. So it was cool that I got to serve my country. And I don't know if that's what people are, I don't know how crooked the world is. I was the goofy guy in school. I tried to get along with everybody in the classroom. But if you gotta, the reason why I was shy and quiet in school is because I have a speech impediment. So, in a way, making YouTube videos with my speech impediment, I think that's what's wrong with the world. We somehow, as a society online, we always point out our negative as people in the world. No matter what, it's negative, this, negative. So even though everybody's living in some type of positive world, you all view each other in some kind of negative internet world. I don't get that. If I ever have a chance to go to a cool party back home, I want to chill with the people around me. I don't want to be the uptight guy at the party. So I feel like everybody made me the uptight guy, and I'm 40 years old. Everybody's got the family of their own back home. I must have skipped and bounced around in the world as Michael Commiso. I try all the time. I felt like I was a cool battle buddy, at least. I feel like I did what I was told when I was at war, and the reason why I'm still alive is because my higher rank taught me how to stay alive as a 40-year-old man on the internet as a veteran. So I feel like I respect people. But I don't know. People do take advantage of nice people. Everybody's it's kind of messed up that people walk around like they're big and bad and tough in the world, but they bully the nice people in the world on the internet. So, and everybody acts like I read every book in the library. You know how hard it is to read? Being a teenager in America is hard. I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like being a teenager in America should be the easiest thing to be, because you're a teenager in America. So, is it not everybody got a chance to got directed out of the classroom and succeed? Everybody wants to be something. And it's just, I feel like we live in a society where everybody wants to accomplish something in life. So I'm just trying to figure out where the 1% negative that's on the internet, where everybody wants to be accomplish something in life. It's not like everybody sits online and you actually find ways to hate on each other. So, but there's good people in the world. You know, I'm trying to get back in shape. I'm trying to get some style of my own. You know, we live in a world where everybody dressed the same. It's funny. It's just messed. I don't know. Understand people. And people say he must be stupid because he doesn't understand the internet or people. But people uses so there's something not connecting there with people. So I wasn't trying to come home from war to be mean to people. But as a veteran, it's like, man, I feel like I did a lot of cool things in my life. So I don't know if there's some kind of brainwashing world online or now and how to hate on each other or something. But I felt like there was a time when I was in school that, like, even though I was a shy, quiet kid, everybody knew that Michael Commiso was in the classroom. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just a good friend. But I'm not going to take the fall for the internet. That's why I don't understand. I want to win. I don't, it's not winning to out achieving people. When you win, it feels good. When I won my first place medal on the wrestling team, I felt like that's all he had to keep. The coach, guess I don't know if the coach noticed. I looked at Coach. I said, Coach, what's this? Because I never saw a first place like medal before. You wrestle in Fisher, but I don't think there was not that much medals in Fisher. When you're in high school, when I first got a medal, I said, this medal is yellow. Because I felt like maybe I should have won like second place. I said, oh man, I wrestled hard as hell, but I'm going to come in like second or third place or something. And he gave me this yellow medal. And I said, I looked at it, I said, Coach, what's this? I just start crying. The coach, I guess the coach had to do something else. I felt like I said, thank you, Coach. I said, oh shit, I'm starting to cry and I'm on the wrestling team. So I said, I tried to hide my tears. I'm a man that tried to hide my tears because I was on the wrestling team back in the day. So I didn't want none of my teammates to see I got waters in my eyes. It felt good because it felt like it cleared out my eyes a little bit. But I was blind. I should have told my coach I was blind. When I got to high school, I had to wear goofy glasses. So I already felt like I was goofy at Fisher School. So when I got to high school, I felt like, oh crap, I'm going to be the goofy guy in high school. And I can't be the cool kid on the block. You know that song, the band Cool Kid on the Block? But I feel like everybody in the classroom is trying to be the cool kid. I don't know. Because I didn't want to out-cool people I didn't want to make other people look bad on the wrestling team or whatever. And then I was tired most of the time. I just needed some water and some food in my system. So I should have told, hey, coach, is there a chance that I can gain weight? Because I'm mostly hungry anytime. And I feel like if I had more weight to me, the other wrestler will have a hard time picking me up, and then I just have to pin him. I didn't want to. I see when I I felt like everybody's, when you're in high school, you're trying to get a scholarship. I wasn't really trying to get a scholarship. Yes, I heard that you could get a scholarship to go to college on the wrestling team. And I feel like that's the reason why my coach was mad at me. I wasn't trying to upset my coach on the wrestling team. And I wasn't trying to upset the wrestling team or whatever. But that's not how the world works. When you taught to be with good sportsmanship, there's no good sportsmanship, I feel, on the internet. So I'm not trying to copyright people. I'm trying to figure out how to make people laugh. Yes, I get it. You guys jump on the train to succeed in life, for success. Well, I don't know what type of train you're trying to take me as a disabled combat veteran, a back home, because I feel like I'm a simple-minded person. When you put something together, the reason why people have trouble putting the furniture together, you look at it too hard. It's just furniture. So people have trouble putting furniture together because they look at the furniture as like some kind of man. It's some like, no, how the heck but if you look at the furniture as, if you just putting furniture together, it's pretty fun putting furniture together. So I, in my majority of life, put together puzzles. There's a puzzle in our life. Everybody's got their own type of puzzles in their lives they have to solve or put together. You see, I like putting puzzles together because I can do it. Not everybody can put a puzzle together. You have to have patience. I feel like I have enough patience to where I'm like, well, I'm not trying to irritate the people, or I'm just trying to understand people. Where the internet, I feel like the internet should be the simplest thing to do by now. The internet should be just the simplest thing to use. So apparently there was a class. There's a computer class in high school. I apologize. I couldn't keep up with every class. I don't know if did everybody take every class in high school? I just listened to the teachers that said, here, take these classes. And I was like, okay, and that's cool with me. So where I'm like, they gave me a schedule in high school and I went in that classroom. That's all I know. That's all I know. That's when I went to high school. They said, you go into this classroom. And I was nervous my freshman year. I don't know how many people get nervous when they're in the freshman year in high school. Well, I think a good majority of all the freshmen, you're a freshman. No matter how hard you look at it, you're a freshman in high school. I just came from Fisher School. So I'm like, man, we're going to be cool in high school. as we was pooling fishing, where I was shy, quiet, and somehow people came up to me in gym, and there was more than I have some kind of. I must have. I don't know if anybody really noticed that I was there in the classroom or not. One point, I felt like people acknowledged that I was in there in the classroom. Then time went on, in my senior year, and I'm like, I have a lot of things to think about my senior year. Because you all say it's going to be super hard to get into college. Well, you make it feel like it's so hard to get into college. And I have a learning disability. So I don't know if a college is going to look at me and beat me up because I have a learning disability. Is that how it works? When you're in high school, you got high school problems? Is the high school problems the same in college or something? But everybody's, that's why veterans are mad. You do everything late. You acknowledge veterans when they're 80 and 90 years old, and now I'm 40, and now I can't be a boxer if I try to play, join the baseball team in America. I'm 40. I don't know how good I will be. So I sit here and I try to do art on my computer. But it's hard because the internet I didn't realize the internet was that crooked. The internet is crooked as hell. Seems like everybody just scams you online. It takes everything away from you. It takes your benefits away. And I'm like, then you get mad when you don't, well, you took all my benefits away. I was doing good with my benefits at one point, and I was paying the bills on time. Then I was trying to make goofy fit. To be a high school student is hard as so imagine a high school kid like me in school. You got these different types of groups in school. I don't know what type of outcast guy I was in school, but I try to get along with people. If I was the outcast in the classroom, I still try to say, hey, how you doing to the student? And then they come up to me and say hi as the students. So I'm forced to talk in the classroom anyways. So I said, yeah, I'm Commiso. Hello, everybody in the class. That's how simple life was. We make everything complicated. You all beat me up and called me a name back home and bullied me. And then I'm like, wow, this is back in the 1950s? And we're all cops and robbers in the 1950s movie or 40s? Probably 1940s. We're in the cop and robber 1940s movies, and we already know who the bad guys and the cops is on the internet. No, it's 2025 on the internet. You all may see the internet as 1940s and you're cops and robbers, and everybody knows who's the bad guys and the good guys online, and that's all we have to think. So there was a time where I made my mom and my dad and my brother laugh. And I made people laugh sometimes. So I was trying to make people laugh. But we know how crooked the internet is. Because they allow you to get so far in life. Like in the movie, online. Yeah, you was a disabled combat veteran after you was still a disabled combat after 9/11. That's the cool part. I feel like, I don't know, I don't have any issue with America. I really don't have it. If all people do is hack a computer and act like they got to know you over the years, and that's why people get mad over it, because you don't really get to know each other. You just hack my computer over the years. But I feel like I'm a good guy. You know, I get beat up back home. I get bullied. Basically, the internet. I don't know if it's peer pressure. How cool you gotta be to be on the internet is peer pressure, one, and peer pressure where people force you. I don't know what you forced me to be. But I start my cards right. this, it's America is a cool country. I don't know what the heck everybody's problem is online, but America is we as an Americans, we ourselves are allowed to be cool as Americans living in America. Right. We messed up being cool. We messed up being cool on the internet. Like, nobody, you came up with the reason why they hate each other. But there's more to life than just hating each other all the time. Don't you feel like? I'm 40. I appreciate everybody, knowledge. I don't know. I feel that just because I'm spinning around on this planet and aging with the planet that goes around the sun, I shouldn't age as fast as I'm aging, and I'm 40 already. I didn't read a lot of scientific books, science books, because I only took a few college courses when I was in the military. But it's hard to be anything. And I'm a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. That's people like, why do I laugh? Because we live in a serious world where we're not allowed to laugh on the internet. Somebody will get mad at you because you're laughing on the internet. But I feel like there's more to life. You know, to be or not to be, that is the question. I try to be, but nobody leaves me be, so I can be something in life. So I don't know how much effort it takes for people to sit there and screw each other's lives on the internet. You know, just because you sit there and blame an internet site and act like you don't see the internet site, it's like, oh, we're friends back in the day online because everybody uses the same internet and the same internet sites. But now you all watch some soap operas online, and now you all got to be on some kind of drama in each other's lives online. And is that some kind of cool entertainment? We don't have to be stressful and age as fast as the planet, because I'm a human being, and I have technology into where I understand relative. I feel like I do understand relativity. Maybe I don't know how to explain relativity, but I feel like in my mind, I understand what relativity is. But people talk to me like I'm stupid. So when you go on the internet, it feels when people hack your computer and scam your computer, it's like you're basically talking to me like I'm stupid and I don't know how. It's my fault that I don't know how to use the internet. But I'm trying to, I don't know. It's, what is the internet? Did anybody figure it out? That's another thing. We know what the internet is, but somehow we don't know what the internet is. So there's some kind of misunderstanding. Just because few people took me the wrong way, because you all misdirect me online by sending me bad sites, right? If you like it or not, if you're a good friend or not, or a bad friend that send you bad sites to your computer, yeah. I think I took that classroom in high school where you go to the auditorium and you got to play out what's the good thing to say at the party and what's the bad thing to say at the party, or and everybody can have a good time and stay alive at the party and come home and chill. I felt like I understood that class. Listen, yeah. But even a nice guy gets mad sometimes. So I feel like people are trying to get me mad on purpose. And I'm 40. And I'm like, I'm not trying to get in trouble. It sucks that's how the world works. You get in trouble no matter what, because you use the internet. I don't know what type of advertisement that is in the future. When you use the internet, everybody gets scammed and robbed online. How's that going to help us in the future? So I don't know who will. I'm a cool guy. Serving your country is a cool thing to do in America. So I don't understand how hard it is for people to sit on the internet and know what it takes to have world peace. We are capable to having world peace in the world for a long time. But I think I'm an American. I feel like I'm a peaceful guy as an American. I'm not trying to. Since I came back home from war, it feels like people pick fights with me back home from war. So it seems like the law is like picking fights with me. Like, yes, I didn't go to college and learn. I got sweat in my eyes. I didn't go to college and learn law. But I feel like nowadays you don't have to go to college to learn law. I feel like people know knowledge of law. Our oxygen is on a low level. on planet Earth. I feel like the reason why we had bigger life on this planet and bigger trees and plants is because there was more oxygen on this planet. So every bigger animal and trees had enough oxygen to be a dinosaur. So I feel like we're losing oxygen on this planet. So I feel like we are smart enough to acknowledge that when you go to college. I feel like we are basically taught the same college all around the world, to math, to science, and math and science and English and I used to play one of those. Keyboarding. I took keyboarding. So, what else is there? There's all different. When you're in high school, you got the basic subject. It's math, science, history, and English, right? You got math, science, English, and history, and you pick a language to speak. I did that for a little bit. I took Spanish classes, but I have a speech impediment, so me being in a Spanish class was hard for me. Because they tell you have a guidance counselor. I had a guidance counselor in high school, and I felt like my guidance counselor was there for me. Cause I'm a nice student. I don't feel like I was a mean student. You know, because I'm 40 now, and I'm trying to overcome things where people won't allow you to overcome things. They bully you and call your name and your label on the internet, and I'm like, that's not my fault. Just because somebody called me a name and bullied me, and you guys allow that to happen, and I'm like a soldier after 9/11, and I'm like, how hard is it to stand up for your veterans? Shouldn't be that hard. Man, I'm a good guy. I'm a good brother. I'm somehow there for my brother somehow. I really don't know my brother because he's always in the far distance and working all the time. And then I don't understand everybody else back home. Because maybe you all have some kind of system back home not to understand me on purpose, or is it that people are like that, or like people, if I have a hard time understanding people, then I guess everybody has a hard time understanding people, right? So I don't feel like I'm a mean person too, but as a veteran, they use everything against you. It says everything you say or do will use you against the law or whatever. And I'm like, that's not how the law works. You know, just because I figure you peer pressure people on the internet. People get peer pressure. So if people have been peer pressured for years over the same subject on the internet, I don't understand people. Because that means everybody had been since the internet, everybody has been bullied because of the media that you talk about each other online. So everybody's been bullied on the internet. But it seems like you didn't try back home. I feel like my hometown law did not try. I feel like Everybody just, is that how it is? People just give up on each other and decided to say, hey, fuck it, we're going to call you a name and bully you, hate on each other. Or that's how fast people can do that to each other. But there's a lot of cool things. I feel like how further we can be online as people and as a society, man, there'd be no more fighting. There's no fighting on the internet in the future. It's not because people don't want to fight. In the future, everybody's going to wake up in the future in the morning and walk down the street and find an excuse not to fight with each other on the streets. Not because we're punks in the future, because that's how you... we don't fight on the streets, we must look like punks or something. I don't know if that's how it is. But in the future, people are going to be tired of fighting on the internet. So, people are going to sit around on the internet, because that's how I feel right now. Everywhere I go on the internet, it seems like somebody's going to set me up and screw my life over no matter where I go using the internet. And I don't know if it's just me or everybody else does that to everybody else online. You get so far on the internet because you all hack each other's lives and allow each other to get so far in life. So it's hard to breathe on this planet using the internet on top of, there should be more oxygen on this planet. So, this planet is cool. When I travel to the different countries, I didn't know how the other countries would treat me because I don't know how, it's like how hard it is to figure out who's on the internet. Is that it? That's how hard it is to figure out who's on the internet? So I don't get the internet. If people can't figure out who's on the internet, then I don't understand the internet. So I'm trying to make people laugh, but I get bullied. I feel like people got to know me because they hacked my life when I came back home from war. Not on top of me having this combat PTSD, because I have combat PTSD, and I survived a war on the internet as a goofy soldier on the internet. And I'm 40. And I'm like, is that... You know how many parties y'all decided not to party with me back home? And I'm like, I didn't go to parties to try to take people's girlfriends, but that's all people think about, right? If that's the right reason why the internet's not working, we can't figure out why. We're all cock blockers to each other. I may not went to a lot of clubbing, but I feel like I did a little clubbing back in my time, serving my country. And the reason why people got along in the club, there's some goofy guy in that party. I feel like that's the reason why parties work. There's some goofy guy at the party. I just wanted to laugh with everybody at the party. You lost that laughter. There's some kind of fucked up world, internet world, where you all drain each other's laughter at each other's lives. So if that's what you're trying to do to me, drain all the laughter out of Commiso back home as a disabled combat veteran. Well, I don't want to be a serious guy, because I don't think it's not that serious to live on this planet. You know, you go to school, eventually you figure out how to get to college. No, but we all learn the same thing. You learn what you want to do in life. So I feel like when I was making my YouTube videos, I was trying to tell people what I want to do in life. But I feel like people see that. When you get some kind of giggles, you got giggles. People get mad when you see giggles on the internet. Because I don't feel like I did anything on the internet for everybody to overreact. Like, where I'm like, well, if you stop sending me bad sites, allow me to get through whatever everybody else is seeing online and showing. Well, everybody sees everything. That's why I don't get the law. How you bully one person when everybody sees everything on the internet? And I don't want to try to see everything on the internet. I try to say, hey, I know what it takes to be Commiso on the internet. I don't want to see negative things online. They all say you have to be positive and have a positive attitude to achieve things in the future, in your life. But when I have a positive attitude, you take that positive attitude and you just slam it out of you. That's the internet. So when if somebody comes up with a cool idea or invention, or you can't have your own personality on the internet. Is that all people do is take from each other all the time? And get mad at each other? It doesn't make sense to me. The math on why people hate each other doesn't make any sense to me, because I feel like as a human being, we put each other enough stress online in the first place. So I don't know what cool sites to use. You know, you just like throw people out on the internet, and you don't even know why. You just hate people as people on the internet. Because the internet says to hate that person online, and you're like, you don't even know why. So I think the majority of the internet knows what the internet is. Knowledge. You know, I really do want to go to college when I'm 40. I can't do much sports when you're 40. And then I take the chess class. Maybe I take a chess class in college. That's a sport. Because I will probably have to focus on that class so hard to get an A in that class. But is college that hard to get into? How is it that easy to sit back and screw somebody's life over like that? And don't care about that person at all? And you wonder why people get mad at each other? Because you sit there and act like people don't care about each other on the internet? So I feel like, yeah, I didn't know how to talk to the ladies in the classroom. And yeah, you all got your high school lovers. What was it called? High school sweetheart. I didn't get no high school sweetheart when I was in high school. Love was complicated in high school. You can't just love in high school. But apparently people can make love happen in high school. But I did something, is that I feel like majority of everybody online, we could do this together. We could come together. We could fix the internet. And nobody has to get in trouble with the internet no more. But we're not stubborn, aren't we? We're stubborn people in the world. We're going to just find a reason not to make it work, isn't it? We made the internet site worked all them years, but now we're going to blame the internet site. So you won't get in trouble using that site. Isn't that how? Oh, I get it. You get people in trouble, so you won't be viewed and get in trouble yourself. That sucks. Is that how people work? I feel like as a good friend, I won't do that to anybody. I still want to travel. I miss traveling. I miss going. I really do want to go to Italy because I'm an artist and I feel like there's art in Italy. Italy is calling me and I need to go to Italy. No, there's probably a lot of cool stuff to see in Italy. And I'm Italian, Irish, and American. I don't know how much nationality you can have. I don't know I don't know how many nationality one person can have, but I would say I'm an Italian, Irish, American, man. Maybe some English. That's all I know. And I'm fine with that. There's, don't you know, there's a planet on the internet? We hate each other so much as people, we don't know there's a planet on the internet. So we're making the internet flat because we're hating each other on the internet. But there's a planet on the internet. It's a round planet on the internet. That's relativity. We made the internet so flat that you can't see the planet is round on the internet. That's relativity. But don't you think that'd be a good bad friend? Like say you all know you all know what it takes not to break the law on the internet, and you all hide on the internet as people. That's the funny part. You all hide on the internet, but everybody see each other online. I'm going to say it again. Maybe you think. I don't even know if everybody sees my YouTube videos in the world. There's some kind of cock-blocking motherfucker online. But I got cool things. I don't feel like I speak out of hate. I come at it in peace. I'm Ace Vitola, a tech detective. I come in peace. I feel like the majority of the world would come in peace of the world. I do get panic. I get panic attacks. I was a shy, quiet kid at school. So imagine me having full sentences on YouTube. I try to keep up with the YouTube streaming world. If I don't, I think that Back to the Future, they try to delete me off the internet and they won't let me to be me and succeed in life. I could draw Beavis and Butthead. I was a shy, quiet kid, and I learned some art skills in the art classrooms. And I get nervous around the other students when I draw. So when people staring at me when I'm trying to draw something, it's like, a reason why he can't draw because we're staring at him because he can't draw. I have maybe a different type of mind or something. We all born with minds, right? I feel like majority of the world, he was born with a brain, right? We're human beings, right? Hopefully there's human beings still on the internet, and we all have a brain. But they say we only use like 1% of our brain. We're supposed to use like 10% of our brain. Because we're all flat on the internet. You don't want to see the fourth dimension. But we see it every day. when you play video games, and it's like 4K now, there's like a fucking fourth dimension in video games now. And you see it every day. Having an imagination, I feel like I need to bring my imagination back. I do want to draw. I got some draw. I got proof that I still got I didn't really lose my skills of drawing, but I feel that I'm stressed out when I draw because everybody's staring at me on the internet all the time. Think about it. That's all people do in the world. Is constantly staring at you. Over time, eventually, we all get upset with each other if all we do is stare at each other constantly on the internet all the time, if you know what I mean. Yeah, people can hack your webcam and turn your webcam on, and your people are always staring. So how the hell people always stare? That's the pressure. When you go to the flea market, it's often all the people. It's like oppression. Everybody should be comfortable with each other at the flea market, walking with each other. But I'm a shy, nervous guy, and I try not to put people down. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to roll with the flow online as haters. I'm a nice person. And I feel like if you're a nice guy, it shouldn't be that hard to succeed in life as a nice guy in life. But that's not the case, is there? It doesn't matter how nice you are to people. People are going to still sit there and talk bad about you. Because that's the internet that you came up with or something. So, I feel like people take me the wrong way because I'm a veteran. I took that class. I can't be that hard to hang with as a veteran, dude. So it's not me because I'm a veteran. Maybe people are jealous of me because I'm a veteran. But I didn't go out of my way to make haters. That sucks. You're nice to everybody in school, but somehow you still come out to have haters on the internet. And I don't feel like I was a showmanship on the wrestling team. I wasn't out trying to outshow people on the wrestling team. I was just a simple wrestler. I was a simple wrestler on the wrestling team, and I was trying to make all my wrestling team happy when I wrestled. But sometimes I felt like my wrestling team was upset with me sometimes, and I was sad. So Imagine being in the classroom and then you don't understand if the wrestling team still likes you on the wrestling team in the classroom in high school. Now, I'm a disabled combat veteran after 9/11. I feel that the internet shouldn't be that hard to use to where the internet should direct you in the right path to life. We are smart enough as people on this planet to direct each other in the right path online, and everybody can have a happy life on this planet on the internet. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like everybody went out of their way to try to set me up because you don't want me to look cool on the streets back home as a family. Damn, that sucks. We live in a world where I'm a veteran and I wasn't good. If you was cool at the party too, it's okay for you to be cool too at the party as a veteran. You know, maybe if you tell me what to bring to the party, you know, maybe I won't be like, oh, Commiso didn't bring anything to the party. Why is he here? You know? But, you know, nobody told me what to bring and everything. But it's how fast we can bully each other and hate for no reason. This doesn't make any sense to me as to we could get along with each other in the world all these years on the internet somehow, and now we all going to just choke up and say, why do we hate each other now online? We liked each other online before as people. So I don't understand people, and I don't understand the internet. It's all clear to me now. That's why I don't understand the internet. I don't understand people. But I want to live in, you know, He-Man. You know, when you first saw the He-Man movie, you know, when you was a kid, you didn't have that much negative to say about each other as a kid. You see the world as a kid when you was a kid. That sucks as an adult. We lose that, and I think that sucks. And I'm trying to live like I saw He-Man the first time on the internet and show, because I want to see flowers in the sky like everybody else when they smoke weed. When everybody else smokes weed, everybody sees flowers in the sky. Why can't I? I felt like when I watched Wizard of Oz, the movie, that's what Dorothy was trying to teach me when I watched the movie. That anybody knows what Wizard of Oz is in the movie. That's the internet. Everybody saw, how many times everybody saw Wizard of Oz, the movie on the internet in the world, but nobody knows what Wizard of Oz is. Well, I feel like everybody should have some type of different, like, image or imagination, or when they watch Wizard of Oz, or in the mind or state of mind. So, maybe I feel like the world should be a better place. And you all like, what the heck are you talking about, Commiso? The world be a better place. And then I stare at you for a while as Commiso, say, what the heck are you talking about? You don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Isn't that all everybody complain about on the internet? Everybody, why the world is not a perfect place and everybody's having a bad time online and everything? So, you know, I am that 40-year-old man. You all act like I'm a ladies' man. I don't feel like I was a ladies' man in high school or any other school. I don't even think I felt like a ladies' man when I was in the military. I was Commiso. You had a chance to party with Commiso in the world. My battle buddy had a chance to hang with Commiso. Nobody knows what Commiso is. And nobody knows what Commiso, never heard Commiso before in the world. And when I went to my first duty station, everybody heard Commiso in the first, what's that? First sergeant? That's a Commiso in the barracks. Now calm down now. When you go into the barracks, calm down. There's Commiso in the barracks. Everybody's like, Commander, who's this guy? Commander, this is Commiso in the barracks. You must acknowledge that Commiso's in the barracks. So I felt like I was knowledge in the barracks. I was the new guy, but I don't know. I didn't care what the barracks was thinking. I went further than the barracks when I said my country. When they said you can have a 4-day in Germany, I said, well, thank you for letting me have a 4-day. I must have did something. Every time they gave me a 4-day in the military, I was a happy camper in the military. I felt like I was doing everything right in my first duty station. Nobody knew what a Commiso was until they saw Commiso in the barracks. I heard there was a Commiso in the barracks. Where the hell? I can hear Commiso, but I can't see Commiso. I think I know what you're talking about. I know. I think I can see Commiso in the barracks now. I said, hello, First Sergeant. It's me, Commiso. And sometimes I feel like the First Sergeant was shocked to see me every day at formation. First Sergeant said, hey, there's Commiso. Follow me, Commiso, First Sergeant. I said, okay. This is a happy First Sergeant. I never saw a happy First Sergeant before. You had a serious First Sergeant. You got basic, you got the drill sergeant. Eventually, you see it like they're all the ranks. If you open your eyes at basic training, there's a lot of ranks at basic training. I feel like the higher ranks was trying to hide the fact that there were a higher rank in the basic training. So, I don't know who trained me in basic training. There's a Commiso in the barracks. What the heck is that? That's a Commiso in the barracks, in the basic training. Even the drill sergeant for weeks, drill sergeants was trying to figure out, even the drill sergeants couldn't figure out Commiso in the basic training. Anyway, I think this guy is in the military to get on my nerves in basic training. That's why I think the drill sergeant thought of me when I was trying to get along with the drill sergeants. I said, hello, drill sergeant. How was your day? But I guess you can't show the other soldiers that you were saying hi to the drill sergeant. I noticed that there was other soldiers around me when I was basic training. But sometimes I try to zone out in basic training. I said, they gave me an M16. I said, who the hell gives a Commiso? For one, who the hell is Commiso at the barracks? And I got on the range. I said, is this a good idea, Drill Sergeant? You're going to put Commiso on the range to fire a weapon? Drill Sergeant, come here. Did you think that's a good idea? So I was when they said Commiso shoot down another range, and I was shocked that I shot down these many ranges already in the first place. I said, why they keep letting me do it? Uh, I was nervous every time they said it's time to fire your weapon down the range. I was nervous every time. I said, "Oh, I better do something right, or they yell at me down the range." So eventually, I trained with my unit that I went to war with. The first sergeant and the commander figured out where Commiso was in the barracks. So where's Commiso? He's not in the formation. Where's Commiso? Where's Commiso? He's not in formation. It's because they told me that I didn't have to make formation in my first duty station. And because I worked at the mailroom, I thought that was cool as hell. I said, I went to formation basic training. I went to formation AIT. Now they try to put me in some kind of, I don't know what's going on in my first duty station, because not everybody's in the barracks. They said, because I guess I think I came in the morning. I felt like I came in the morning. The sun was, when I was in Germany, the sun was in the sky. And I went to my first duty. I felt like the sun was in the sky when my first duty station. And I guess the motor pool, the office, I guess they call it a motor pool. I just realized that. They call it a motor pool with the mechanics. Is that a motor pool too? I forgot what they call it. Whatever heck that office they got at the barracks. They said, I came over here, I got my orders, and I handed it to him. I said, oh, Commiso. Hey, follow me, Commiso. I show you the room in the barracks. I said, ooh. It's the barracks in Germany are like hotels. I said, he's going to show me my hotel room in Germany in the military. I said, ooh, he was a sergeant. I said, oh, this sergeant's cool. Come on, Commiso, I'll show you the room. That's all. They said, nobody's in the room right now because everybody's in the field training, Commiso. I said, oh, sergeant, that's cool. They said, do you want to work at the CMR, Commiso? I said, what's that? That's the mailroom. I said, I'll work at the mailroom. Okay. And then you don't have to make formation, Commiso, because you're working at the mailroom with the civilians. And I said, thank you, Sergeant. I like you, Sergeant. Thank you so much. I don't have to make formation. I get nervous standing in formation as Commiso. Every time they say to stand in formation, I get nervous every time I stand. So I had the room to myself. I was like, wow. I had my own room in the barracks. I was so happy. I said, I could decorate the room how I wanted in the barracks. And so I had some kind of system. So every time they gave me a 4-day, I said, they must be doing something good. Because they keep giving me 4-day all the time. So I got to party and I went to the clubs with the civilians at the mailroom at my first duty station while everybody is in training. I said, I never went to Germany before, so I didn't know the rules, and I never went to the first duty station before. So every time they gave me a 4-day, I was happy. I said, I know where the civilian, hey, Commiso, this weekend, you want to hang with us at the mailroom? We're going to go do cool things to travel the world with the civilians. I even took a vacation while everybody was in training. My whole first duty station was in the field training, and I was going to the tourist place. They said, Commiso, you got a 4-day. I said, cool. I like you guys. So I felt like my battle buddies liked me at my first duty station when they gave me my 4-day. So they're all in training in the field, and I was partying with the civilians in the mailroom. I got to drink a Hefeweizen. I went to a football game when I was in the mailroom. They said, come on, Commiso, I'm going to take you to a football game. You want to see a football game, Commiso? I said, okay. I never went to a football game my whole life. And I didn't even know they have soccer, but they also actually have football in Germany. I didn't know they actually had a football team in Germany. Because in Europe, they have soccer. So there's some kind of connection there on the internet as people. But I don't feel it as Commiso. So it's cool that I can think back in time. I said, Commiso was happy in his life at one point. What the hell happened? And I do everything. I feel like I always try to do the right thing. At least I try to do the right things all the time. God at least give me that credit. But that's not how the world works, is it? How fast people could turn their back on each other, and we were all cool friends with each other in the school at one point in time. As a child, it was easy to be a child in America. But he had Pokemon cards left every day. It was cool to collect Pokemon cards. I don't know how cool it is to really be. But that's the whole point. We were so cool to be cool. Now it's not cool to be cool at all. But back in the day, it was cool to be cool. They even had that Kool-Aid guy. Remember the Kool-Aid guy? It was even cool to have Kool-Aid, man. Because that's a cool guy to watch. That's a cool guy. He even have a cool name as Kool-Aid guy on the TV. Even the commercials were simple. We're making things too complicated. We're making TV too complicated. Because I highly doubt people scan channels to find hate on TV. You all claim that you're all tough and can watch people die on TV or hate on television or whatever, but really, in the majority of the world, people like to watch the funny movie. I feel like the majority world, you watch funny movies for a reason in the world. That's like a break from the drama and the stress, and you all have reality. So laughter is the kind of thing that has to stick around, laughter. And I felt like, as a shy guy in the barracks, I was searching love too in the barracks. Everybody's, acting like they don't search love in the barracks, but sometimes you search for love in the barracks. But I did try to do that. Really, I don't feel like I was trying to search. Well, maybe a little bit I was trying to search for love in the barracks. But people still was trying to I feel like my battle buddies were still trying to knowledge that Commiso was in the barracks. But when I saw my first roommate, I was nervous to see my roommate for the first time when they came out of training. Because I was happy. And I was like, oh, you just came back for training? But I felt like I I say, hey, battle buddy, you want to go get a drink or something? I know how to get out of the barracks. I said, y'all. When I first saw my first battle buddy or my roommate, I said, hey, I felt like, let's do this. I got a 4-day. I feel like you may have a 4-day too coming off for training. And maybe we didn't understand Commiso at one point as a battle buddy. But once you get to know Commiso as a battle buddy, I was drinking with my roommate and we was in Germany. I said, hello, roommate, and everything. And I said, I'm from New Jersey, and I'm from the South. I said, oh, hello. I never went, I really had basic training in the South Carolina. In South Carolina, at Fort Jackson, I never knew what a grit was, or whatever Southern breakfast they gave in the military. And I felt like I miss Fort Jackson's food. That's how tasty. The grits at Fort Jackson was so tasty. So every chance I got to get grits, or whatever the heck they give me in basic training to eat, there was some type of breakfast going on there. Even I felt like AIT, the grits, it was in Maryland, and they was feeding me good in the military. I don't have any I felt like the military fed me pretty good in the military. But I had to time it, First, I had to learn how to spend my money in the military. I felt like I ran out of money. I said, oh. I never ran out of money before on a 4-day. And I said, oh, this is the first time on a 4-day I can't really do anything. I stayed on the barracks and I just partied with the people that was in the barracks. And I still had fun in the partying with the barracks. And then once I learned how to save my money a little bit, it was cool to travel the world. I was in Europe, and you see the movie Europe Trip? So I was a guy from New Jersey, and I got to travel to Germany. I think because I was stationed in Germany, it was easy. Eventually, it was easy to travel in Germany because everybody's telling you, okay, Commiso, come over here. I said, you know where to go, roommate, to drink? He said, yeah, I know where to go to drink. Come follow me. And I felt like I got along with my roommate, my first roommate, my battle buddy. But he was from the South, and I'm from the East. So maybe there was some kind of Wizard of Oz going on in the barracks. But it feels like all the Southern people just wanted to go and drink and be okay with that. They didn't have, if you get a girl or not at the club or bar, as long as I get a drink at the bar as a Southern guy, I'd be okay. So I feel like, okay, I know places to go too, everyone. Because once you learn how to fly, you just got to learn how to fly. So eventually Commiso learned how to fly in the military. And that's another cool thing to learn, how to fly in the military. So I was a young chap in America. I was 19 when I went in the military. So I didn't go anywhere as far as to Disney World in Florida. That's how far I went. And it's only because I was good in school. And they said, you want to go to the... I said, okay. Like, well, I said, Mom, everybody's going on a field trip this senior year. I want to go on a field trip too, my senior year too, Mom. Mom. Everybody else going on a senior trip. What about Commiso? So I was nice to the teachers. Somehow they got me on the plane. So I was like happy when I first got on the plane. I never flew anywhere until only into Florida. How many people are happy to go fly in Florida? I was the only guy. I felt like I was the first. I was like standing on the plane, taking pictures. I said, everybody's going to be happy. We're not in the classrooms no more. This is senior trip. And we're going to Disney World. And I heard it was cool to go to Disney World. I never went to Disney World my whole life. So either way, I was going to be happy on this plane as my senior year because I never went to Disney World. So I just listened to, somehow I listened to the teachers, and I feel like I just followed whoever student that I was talking to on the plane, I followed them. And the teachers just said, Commiso, don't follow us. We're going to get on the bus now, Commiso, on the senior trip. I said, okay. I don't know if people are making fun of me on the bus or not, because I was zoned out going on the bus to Disney World for the senior trip. So we got on the bus, and then I was like, they got hotels on Disney World? I didn't know they got hotels. He said, come on, Commiso, we got a hotel room for you. That's what the teacher said. You go over there in that room, Commiso. I said, okay, teacher. So I said, I saw this good student before. I guess we're going to be cool roommates at the Florida. I don't know. I remember when we first got to the hotel, I was just happy that this is the first time I get stepped foot out of New Jersey as a new scooter. So I never went to a hotel in my whole life. So my roommates were like, I guess there was, hey, Commiso, make a prank call to the rooms and everything. I said, okay. That's what people do in the hotel. They make prank calls to the hotel. I said, okay. So I didn't say something, I don't even know I forgot what I said. But it was something probably funny. I only did it one time. Then I followed the other students that got out of the hotel. I said, hey, Commiso, I've been here before. Oh, you've been here before? I'll follow you then. So I went with the students that know how to, you have to make sure you make breakfast. You got to make breakfast in the morning. So I was up like 6 o'clock in the morning every single day. Every single day I was up and I went to breakfast with this other students. But said they know where to go at Disney World. And I was happy because but breakfast was good. I said, let me just get I got my souvenir. I said, let me get all the souvenirs first. I said, so I got all the souvenirs and I got it in my book bag. And so I said, I could give this to my mom or something. I felt like I did that. And so I ate my breakfast. I was all ready to go figure out where the heck I got my round. They didn't have digital. Holy crap. They didn't have digital on my Cedar trip. So don't blame me if the pictures didn't come out when I felt like I was the only one that was taking pictures of the Cedar trip. So anything I saw at Disney World, I was like, gee, I didn't know they had animals at Disney. There's an alligator or a crocodile staring at me. I said, I didn't know Disney World had animals. So they had a monkey tree. I guess like an old ass monkey tree. I said, there's a big tree. Is that a real tree? That's a big tree. It's gotta be a fake tree. That's too big to be a tree. So I took a picture of the tree. I tried to take pictures of all the monkeys in the tree. I tried to take pictures of all the animals on the safari at Disney World. I said, what's that? I never saw that before at the zoo at the Philadelphia. I went to the zoo when I was in school. And I said, this was different. So I did everything. And I said, I went to the pool. I said, I decided to go to the pool today. I felt like I must have did all the rides already, but there was more rides I didn't know about. It's hard to see everything in a day at Disney World, so I try to see everything in a day. Today we're going to the safari. I said, okay. So today we did the safari. We don't have to do the safari again. I heard there was I took pictures of the chipmunks. I said, hey, chipmunks, hey, can anybody take pictures of me of the chipmunks? We don't have chipmunks in New Jersey, in Florida. We got chipmunks in Florida. I was happy. Yeah, maybe there was some kind of teenager conflict in the Cedar trip, but I didn't. I was trying to I went to the pool. Now I'm 40. And then, man, what? Everybody's trying to take in an adventure away from Commiso. I served my country. I'm sorry I wasn't maybe, I don't know, I feel like I was a cool battle buddy in the military. I felt like I was a cool soldier in the military. But it was a lot of responsibility they tried to put on me in the military. They said, oh, they try to give me higher rank. So they're going to give me more responsibility because I'm a higher rank. I said, oh, man. I just wanted to travel to the other countries. I didn't care when they made me specialist. I said, oh, cool. What the heck is a specialist? It just sounds cool. I said, they made me specialist in the military. And it's just, that was good enough for me. You didn't have to make me a sergeant or whatever. It just sounded like I said, it's a specialist. I said, that sounds cool enough. So, I was there for you guys. I felt Commiso in the barracks was there for you. And we're 40s. You know, I hope all my battle buddies are doing good in the world. And I miss traveling with you guys because I went to a lot of different countries with my battle buddies, and I was like so happy. It was, I didn't care what was going on around Commiso. I wasn't really focusing. I was like going back in time, going to castles in Germany, and I was a tourist. I wonder if our battle buddy realized I was a tourist when I went in the middle. They teach you military words and everything. And I guess I learned that I'm a military brat. They say, Commiso, since you have a family member that was in the military, you will call a military brat. I said, I'm not a brat. And this means that this classified information they use that in the military. Well, I was just happy. Man, I went to cool restaurants. I ate Chinese in Germany. I ate Chinese food in Germany. And that was pretty tasty. They said, well, come on, there's a Chinese restaurant. And you got to go upstairs, and there's restaurants upstairs. And I sat down. I said, I felt special eating Chinese at the restaurant in Germany. Then they had pizza. Sometimes we can't always go outside the barracks because we run out of money or. So there was a pizza restaurant on the barracks. And man, that pizza was good. And it was a big, giant pizza. There are times I eat the whole pizza. I buy the whole pizza for myself. And I eat the whole pizza myself, the whole box. That big. It was at Freiburg, Ray Barracks in Germany. They had a pizza restaurant. And there was a big, giant box. And I ate it. I felt like I ate one by myself. I said, I better eat something before I die. And I realized I could still go to the deep. That's one good thing about the military. When you run out of money, you still can go to the defect to get food. I said, oh man, I better hurry up and get a pizza. And I realized, oh wait, there's a defect. And sometimes you want to feel special. It's like you're trying to be cool with the other battle buddies, saying, well, everybody's going to the defect. I'm going to get a pizza over here at the restaurant while you all go to the defect. And every restaurant that I went to, traveled to in Europe, I felt like I was some kind of special character in a book in the restaurant. Oh, you're going to serve me some best red wine today? I felt like I was back in the day at the restaurant where I would travel the world. So eventually they tell you what the good drinks to drink in Germany, what the good drinks to drink in London, what the good drinks to drink in whatever, all the other countries. But every time, it's like I was like, wow. I didn't know the world was so free that you could travel to Germany and drink a beer. And it's like going back in time in Germany and drinking a beer, and it's, wow. That's how I felt with my battle buddies. I said, man, I felt like, well, I might have been like an outcast or a shy, quiet kid in the military soldier, or I don't know if I was the coolest kid on the block in the barracks. but I try. But anything that my battle, we did the coolest things. I felt like I'm 19 years old. I really don't have a big size bank account and everybody thinks I do. I'm like Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic, travel the world, and I don't have a. So how the heck I got to Germany in the military? So I really didn't spend that much in basic training. I just went to the whatever they said. You gotta try. Now you gotta go to the store to get shaving cream. You have to buy your own equipment in the military at the PX. They said they want me to buy this stuff. So that's how I did in basic training. It was to go into the PX all the time. So I didn't really spend my money on basic training. And then AIT, I really didn't go far in AIT either. Only here and there I saw the city of Maryland. But I didn't really spend that much in AIT either. So I went to the first duty station. I looked at my bank account and said, oh, I could do things. And then when I went to the first duty station, and they said you could go on your 4-day Commiso. And I'm like, they trust me to go on a 4-day. I said, should I let the other higher rank that I never went to Germany before? It didn't cross my mind. I just said, I got to know whoever wanted to get to know me in the barracks. Even when I was, I don't even know where the battle buddies came from. They came from all over different types of worlds. And they had met Commiso somehow or the other. So everybody, I felt like I was in the Forrest Gump movies. And they tell me, text maybe from, well, I don't know where text came from. Yeah. So, that's how I felt when I was in barracks. I said, I'm from the South. Me too. Oh, I'm from Texas. Oh, I'm from ECA. Or whatever. I couldn't remember everywhere everybody came from, all around the world in the barracks at the time. Because I was too busy getting down with my bad self at the club. When my sergeant said, Commiso, well, I don't think he really told me to dance, but I just danced anyway. And I never drank alcohol in my whole, I really never really had alcohol in my whole life. And when they say you could drink at my first duty station, I said, all right, I'm not going to argue with anybody. So I was like a drink. I said, whoa. He said, it feels like I just want to dance. Because they put all this pressure. You better talk to the girl at the club, or people think you're weird because you didn't talk to the girl at the club. But I wasn't really up with that at the club. I said, this is the first time I went to this club. You all went to this club before. I really went to this club before my whole life. Because I'm a tourist. When they said, Commiso, you got a jacket? I said, I don't really feel like I had a jacket. I just went to the club. I said, I can come in this club? And they said, come with us, Commiso. We're your battle buddies, and I'm your sergeant. Come to this club at night. I said, I don't even know where it is, Sergeant. So somehow, I followed my battle buddies to the clubs in downtown Freeburg. And there was a special club in Freeburg that everybody, I guess the whole town went to. So I first walked, the first, it's a little room, a coat room. Is that for some reason it was dark in the club. I said, ooh, it's dark in the club. There's some lights over there. What's over there, Sergeant? I said, hey, what's over there, Sergeant? There's some pretty lights over there in the club. I want to go over there, Sergeant, in the club. So I never went to the club before. So I was trying to walk around like I'm cool. Like I went to the club. I better walk around. I said, they're trying to teach me how to be cool at the club with my parents. So it felt like every guy at the club was trying to get a girl at the club. And I did the math. It's like, it's not going to work. There's too many guys here. There's not enough women at the club for everybody to get a woman at the club. So every guy is going after the same woman. And I'm like, ooh, this pretty light. I was interested. They said, Commiso, did you ever had this drink before? I said, no, I'm from New Jersey. I went to a wrestling. I never did anything. But I went on the wrestling team. I don't know, I forgot this, every subject we talked at the club. But I said, okay. And there was a downstairs and upstairs. So I felt like, hey, I want to check upstairs. I've never been upstairs before. Everybody in the club been here before, and I've never been. I want to check upstairs. It looks cool up there. And then I said, look, I looked downstairs. I said, wow, I could see everybody dancing on the dance floor on the second floor. So I go downstairs, dance with everybody. I said, because you have to be cool to dance. No, but you got to wait for that one person to dance at the club. If there's nobody dancing at the club because they're too cool to dance at the club, you got to get that one person to dance at the club. So I said, what am I standing around for? I'm just listening to, I said, I heard this song before. It's not, because they have an American song in Germany. They got, so I said, I heard this song before. So everybody had this, the southern side of the barracks, the east side and the west side of the barracks. And each side showed me the way to get out of the barracks. And everybody said, Commiso, come follow me. I said, okay. I never went to Germany before, so when I finally met my first roommate, and I don't know if he knew more than I do, I was like, he must have been here before I was. So basically, all he had to do was make sure you clean your room. And I was nice to first sergeant. No. I wasn't a brown nose or anything with the first sergeant. It would have been cool to get to know my first sergeant and commander more, but I was in Commiso in the barracks. Every chance that I got out of the barracks. So when we came back from war, it felt like my battle buddy was so happy again. And I'm like, I'm staying back. And I took a whole month and traveling to all the different countries in Europe. And I don't regret it. Everybody said, Commiso, you could take a whole month to go home. And I said, what's the next chance I get a chance to travel Germany? Because it adds up. Money does add up. Eventually, you gotta save up for it. It's hard to save up for vacation nowadays. And when you save it, it's like, wow, you want to do a lot of things in one short period of time. But I got to know my battle buddies, and I got to know the different countries. I got to know I was a happy camper. I was happy. Because I was tourist in the military. I didn't know if you once you got used to the military's not that bad. Yeah, sometimes maybe you feel like you're not getting along with some people. But over the time, people got along with Commiso in the barracks. So, you know, it's like a world out there, you know? Everybody always blind by hate, blinded by stress, blinded by the pressure of being a human being online. But hell, I saw the world. That, man, that's cool as hell. You know, everybody can sit there and act like it's so easy to put down a soldier or bully a soldier or make fun of them or call them a name or whatever people do on the internet nowadays. But I ate Belgian waffles with my battle. You know, when a new soldier came to the barracks, I said, I teach you how to travel in the barracks, the newer soldier in the barracks. And he said, I teach you how to dress. So I got along with my battle buddies. And I said, it's not because, you know, I was trying to earn rank or whatever. I was just happy. Yeah, I didn't even know I was a private until they told me. I didn't see my battle buddies as ranks. I saw them more than ranks. Not because they said just do that because they have rank. Because there were cool people from all around the world that I partied with. From different parts of the countries and I party with people from all different parts of the world. And I was just the goofy guy at the club. I said, I want to make everybody happy. I said, so, yeah, I tried to talk to the girls at the club, but after time I was like, it's time to get up again and go to a different club. So I said, I needed my sleep. But having that type of adventure, it doesn't even felt like I slept in the barracks. I always got up and did everything. Every weekend, I did something every weekend when I was a German. So I went to the pool hall. Apparently people fight at the pool hall, but when I went to the pool hall, nobody fought when I was there when I went to the pool hall. Said, Commiso, come on, can you try this drink? I'll get you a drink. I said, oh, I'll get you a drink next time. So we switched back and forth. Oh, I got you a drink. So the owner there, apparently the owner likes me at the pool hall. I made friends with the owner at the pool hall in Germany. And sometimes he gives me free drinks. It's like, oh, Commiso. Come on, Commiso. Because I'm like the first guy at the pool. There's nobody here yet at the pool. I'm like the first guy there at the pool. And my battle buddies with me. But sometimes they taught me how to get to the pool. So sometimes, hey, how'd you get here? Battle buddy at the pool. But the owner likes me, so they gave me a drink and everything. And whoever talked to me, I said, oh, I feel like I was a man with few words. I didn't say much words at the club. I just waved at, I felt like I just waved at everybody at the, hi, I'm Commiso. So, and it felt like each battle buddy took me to a different club or a bar. And then when I went to the club, I never went to, I just waved at them and, hey, everybody. I didn't know it was that serious. Apparently there's some kind of seriousness when you go to the club that I didn't know about. And I laughed. See? When Commiso was in the military, I laughed. And I felt like that laughter spread to the military. Because everybody's asking, what the heck is that sound in the barracks? Somebody's laughing next door. What is that? So maybe they get off. Well, I feel like even though I was from New Jersey, I got along with the Southerners. I got along with my roommate. I said, I don't want to take your side. I didn't know what side I was supposed to be when I was. Felt like the roommate took the side to the window, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I take this side. But it was just happiness that I had, that I was happy about when I was young, serving my country. Because it was like going to a exotic island, a tropical island or something. It's first the island is you're stuck on. It's like, oh crap, you're stuck on the island, but it's a beautiful island. So every time I went to a different country, it just felt like a breeze from that island, the ocean, and it could breathe. I was happy serving my country. You know, I didn't want to make anybody look bad in the barracks. You know, if that's the rank that you wanted to cede to, I didn't say you can't do it. You know, I feel like I motivated the other barracks when I was there. I said, hey, who are you, Commiso? It's me. That's how we met for the first time, serving my country. I said, hello, I'm your squad sergeant, Commiso. I said, okay. It's because I hanged with the civilians for a while, and the mailroom. You don't have to be all. You can just talk to the civilians. You don't have to. But I feel like I kept. Okay, Sarge. I respected the ranks. I respected the ranks. You know, as the ranks respected me when I was in the military. But that's not in the civilian world. Was it? me against the world. Everybody's out for each other online and for themselves, and everybody don't know what it is to be a friend. And everybody's like, "What's that?" I had friendship in the barracks with my battle buddies. You know, they said, "Commiso, don't dress like that at the club where we're going." I said, "Okay." I didn't care. I said, I didn't care how I dressed at the club. I said, as long as we get there. But they teach you if you grow a beard out or mustache, as long as it's neat, it's trimmed and everything. So I had a certain thing that I had on the weekends. I was like, I got a mustache in the military. As long as I shave on formation, I'll be okay. Oh, hey, Commiso. It's only 2 more days left to have fun on the 4 days. Okay, let's go. Where are we going? I don't know. Anywhere, Commiso, anywhere. I said, yeah. We're gonna go and party together. In the barracks together. We went to museums. We don't just go to bars and clubs all the time. I felt like I went to the best clubs and bars in every country that I went to. But I went to the museum. Well, I didn't get to see all the museums, but I took pictures of the town with my camera. I think as an artist, being a photographer is the easy thing for me to be. So I knew what I liked when I took a picture, and I was traveling the world. I said, this building looks cool. I'm going to take a picture of this building. I said, look, there's people over there. I never saw people before. They look cool. Start with taking pictures of people. Trees. I didn't know there's trees in Germany. So each tree was different for me. I know there's trees in America, but there's trees in Germany, and I was like, when I got drunk, I touched the leaves to make sure the trees were there. I said, wow, they got trees in Germany. Everywhere was a different thing going on. So if there was something going on in the military I didn't know about because I was a tourist, I didn't care what the battle buddies were going. I said, as long as we're going to be together, battle buddies, and we'd be cool for anywhere we went. And then they say, you're going to Iraq, Commiso. I said, what's that? I said, oh. So eventually I trained with my battle buddies, and I said, where are we going? Where are we going, battle buddies? Why does everybody look sad? We're going to Iraq, Commiso. Commiso, we're going to Iraq. Commiso. What's that? We're going, battle buddies. We're going. Hey, we're going to go to the club. So we're all in the desert. That's it. So we're going in the desert. So I felt like I had to cheer up my battle buddies. They're all sad and angry. So I just, I try to do what I did when I was a child in America. I make goofy videos on the internet when I was a child in America. It's hard being a child on the internet because everybody drains child's imagination on the internet. So imagine me as a veteran. Man, you drained the life out of me as a veteran. Being a veteran is harder than I thought. So I was like, well, it was easy. I never been a soldier before. I never been a battle buddy before. And I was like, I miss touching the trees in Germany. You all act like, you know, I didn't drink that much at the club. I only had to drink a few beers and I'd be all right. And I was already drunk. I said, come on, bad father. They said, Commiso, you ever played pool before? I said, no, what's that? I saw pool on TV before. Or I saw pool somewhere. I know I saw it maybe in a movie. And he said, about it by you hold the pool stick like this to hit the ball. Commiso. I said, that's all? It looks hard. They make it look like it's hard to do pool. But as long as you saw you hit the ball in the right way. So everybody's playing pool with me. I was like, hit the balls in the corner. There's that ball in the corner. And we didn't even care who wins or lose. Or maybe they did, but I didn't care if I won pool or not. I was just happy that I was playing pool. And they said, all right, we're done at the pool hall. Let's go to the bar now. And there was like a little bar. And I got to know, he always gave me free, every bar or club that I went to, they got to know me and gave me a drink. So when I first get there, I said, Commiso, come on, here's a free drink for you, Commiso. I said, okay. And I'm like, hey, everybody, I don't even know. I'm like a tourist to the bar. Everyone said, where's Commiso? I don't even know. Is he still in the bar? Well, somehow I wander out the bar and go further. Somehow I said, Commiso, you want to do something else? I said, well, you can do a lot in one night. And we go to this bar, we go to that bar, we go to that club, we go to this bar, then it's time to eat now. We all have a hangover. We get a little gyro thing going on. We get a gyro thing. And I was like, these are good gyros. And you fix your hangover, and now you got water. Make sure you drink a lot of water. You won't get a hangover. Oh, here and there. You know, I was tired. And I felt like, no, Commiso, today you're rest in the barracks. I said, I can't rest in the barracks. I got to do something else. I'm in Germany. So maybe I felt like I slept here and there in the barracks. Well, because the week went by fast. So 4 days came fast. But I said, Commiso, you will have a good weekend, Commiso. I said, okay, First Sergeant, Commander, I won't disappoint you. I will have a good time. So I'll be eating food for the first time. And then I see trees again. There's trees in the other trees too. Then it only takes a train. Oh, you could take a train all through the other countries? I said, I don't care. I go on the train. And I'm just there looking out the window. We're going to Amsterdam on the train. I said, cool. We're all the way in Germany, and we all went to Amsterdam. It was me and my battle. We said, Commiso, I figured out how to get to Amsterdam, Commiso. I said, cool. I'll follow you then. Just tell me what to do. So, And then when we went to Amsterdam, man, I felt like heaven when we went to Amsterdam. I said, well, there's naked women. What they doing over there? I never saw naked women before in there. Only in Amsterdam. And then there's weed in there. I didn't have to smoke weed. Everybody smoked weed around me, and I felt like I got stoned somehow. And I didn't smoke weed when I didn't have to. I was got a contact high from Amsterdam. And I was like chilling with my battle buddy. As long as we make formation, it would be cool. So we went to Brussels. So we went to Amsterdam, Brussels, for a period of time on a 4 day. So we went to apparently he knew where the clubs were. I said, he knew where the bars were. I said, wow, I saw Amsterdam before. I couldn't figure out where. This looks like Amsterdam, like they said in the movies. It's a cool, and it seems like everybody's happy in Amsterdam. It's like, oh, they're dancing. Oh, I said, come on. I said, what's your club clothes? Come on, Commiso, get your clothes on. We're going to the club. I said, all right, let's go. I don't know if we had some kind of special handshake. I don't feel like we really did, but I felt like we somehow had a connection there. And so we went to the Heineken Museum, with the Heineken Museum. I said, I drank beer. And I said, this doesn't even taste like beer. I said, this is a Heineken? I said, this is really, I felt special because I drank fresh, the Heineken beer was so fresh. It was really tasty from the factory and everything. And I said, wow, that's cool. And I felt like I had to take pictures of everything. I said, how are we going to remember all this? So I felt like I had to take pictures of everything so we can remember in time. Because when you're in the 80s, you get Alzheimer's and stuff and forgot that you went to Amsterdam or something. So I got pictures to say, oh, hey, yeah, I remember. It's like going on Indiana Jones. When you watch Indiana Jones movies and he goes to he's like a tourist in every country. And he's seeing things for the first time as Indiana Jones. Oh, Venice, Italy. I said, wow, it must be really cool in Venice, Italy if Indiana Jones was there. And you see all these cool things you could do in Venice, Italy in the movie. And I like, wow, I got to see, I felt like maybe my battle buddies took me somewhere in Italy. There was a time that I didn't even know what country I was in. I didn't care. Because I was used to flying. Everybody gets, it don't matter who the heck you are, you're going to get nervous flying. I said, oh crap. I wonder if they know we're up this high. But I said, I felt like if I stay awake, we make it to the other end. So it took like 8 hours to get to Germany. Maybe I closed my eyes here and there, but I felt like I guess I got jet lag. When I stood up the whole 8 hours because I really didn't fly that far in life. So I watched the movies, I played music, I looked out the windows, So when we first landed in Germany, I got to see all the buildings and where we landed from the plane. I said, oh, whoa. So it was cool that I guess that was a good idea. They travel with the other soldiers to the battle buddies to Germany. Because I didn't know where to go. I said, wow, traveling that far is like scary thing to do. Traveling that far is you get nervous. I can't believe you're that far from where you was born in America. And it's like, wow, I was skipping down every street that I was going, traveling with my battle. I said I felt like I ran. How fast I got to the party or the club, how I learned how to travel to see the castles. I was in the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I was in that castle that they filmed the movie. It started with the B. I can't say it. It's a German. It started with B. But I was on a bridge and I took a picture of the castle. I said, wow, shit, if this bridge goes down, we're all going down. But I felt like, wow, shit, I'm up this high taking a picture of a castle. Yeah, I was nervous because I never took a picture of a castle on a bridge that moved. I was basically standing on a rope. It was a rope bridge in Germany. Because they told me, the tourist guy, hey, follow me, tourist Commiso. And you see other soldiers. So I was eventually coming up and talking to me in the bus. And I was taking a picture of the castle from the bridge. I said, oh, look at this lady. She was dressed like a German lady, kind of, whatever, back in time. I don't even think anybody noticed that I was in the military when I was traveling. That's how much a tourist I was. Because I was like, whoa. And everybody's like, why is he so happy to be at this club? You know how long this club been in Germany? Why is he guys so happy to be in this club? This is not the first time this club been open. I must have stand out in every country that if I was in London, the Queen must have known that Commiso was in London. Because I was just sitting laughing and then like, this guy, what's this guy? Who's this? Who's this? This is like the first time we went to London. I said, yeah, it is. That's why I was taking pictures of everything. I think eventually everybody realized this guy's a tourist. This guy's not from London. Not this out. But somehow we made it. We made it. All the things are saying, how the heck we're going to get back to America? We're hanging with him at the club at the barracks with Commiso. You know, yeah, I worry about my parents, I worry about my brother, I worry about my family, and care about them. But I was free, and I was 19, teenager, in the 20s. I'm not in the 20s no more. And now I'm back home trying to figure out the internet. And if I already figure out the internet, and all people do is stab each other in the back online and wonder why there's hate in the world, then I miss my battle buddy. Because if there was hate in the world, I didn't see it. I went to London. I made people laugh in London. I made people laugh in Germany. I made people laugh in Spain. I made people laugh everywhere. Somehow there's some kind of type of giggles around Commiso. There was laughter in life back in the day online. Where is the laughter in life online? So there was a lot everywhere. Every time I took the tourist guide and took pictures, man, that the first experience in life to like going to Amsterdam. It's like, wow, what the heck is everybody mad about in the world if we got Amsterdam in the world? Everybody can go to Amsterdam and smoke weed and chill, and it's okay to be naked in Amsterdam. And then, on top of that, I felt free. Every country, I felt free. As long as I made formation, I don't think I don't know. I felt like First Sergeant was happy with me. The Commander was happy. There was sergeants that liked me. I felt like there were sergeants in the barracks. Then there's privates and specialists. You know, there was newer privates that came in, and I didn't know what to teach the newer privates. Just to be seen. So people that from war that came, there were newer soldiers that went to war with us. They even hang with me after war, and I didn't even know who the newer soldier was. We went to Euro Park. I said, I don't even know how we. I don't. We speak so fast in the barracks. I don't even know how we got to the country. So, somebody say, you want to go to Europort? I said, I go to Europort. What's that? That sounds fun. I said, wow, we got this. It's like Six Flags or Disney World or something. So I'm like taking pictures. Then when I watched Euro Trip, I said, wow, I wonder how many statues were real life statues. And I didn't really know. I thought it was a regular statue that was on the street. So when I went to Euro Trip, I don't know, I felt like there were statues. I said, oh, that's a cool statue. I want to take a picture in front of that statue. And I said, there were statues, and I'm like, I sat back, I sat next to the statue. You know, I'm like this to the statue. I sat on one of the, I said, it seems like everybody's driving a scooter. I want to sit on a scooter. I was sitting on the statues in Germany. There was a lion. Somehow there was a lion. I said, that's a cool lion. Take a picture of me sitting on the lion on the statue in Germany, or whatever country, if I was Germany. They said, okay, Commiso, we take a picture. So I took a picture of a lot of statues. They said, this statue is this statue. I said, oh, cool. Hey, Commiso, that's a statue. Look, oh, there's mountains. There's mountains? I never saw mountains before. So I'm like, I had a camcorder on the bus, and everybody said, this guy never saw mountains before. Then they said, look, a waterfall. There was a water fountain. I never saw a water fountain in New Jersey either. So I took a picture of everything. I said, oh, I know I can take a better picture than this. Now there's digital. I know I can take better pictures of. I can remember every place that I went to with my battle buddy. I said, we're going to It's like a movie Hangover. We're going to start here. Just give me some beers, and I can remember all the places that I went to. And I was like, oh, but I'm 40 now. I never know if Commiso is going to find love in the world. Because I've been cock-blocked since I came back home from war. Being a veteran, you all cock-blocked me back home. So I really don't have much balls talking to women now anyways. But still, I got souvenirs where I have traveled and I'm trying to save my life that I have accomplished on love. And I'm just now letting my battle buddies know, don't let people take the fact that, damn man, everybody acting like they're tough back home, but I only saw you at war as my battle buddy. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe people can treat veterans that way. I don't want to be a tough guy at the party because I'm a veteran. I want to have a good time like I did with my battle buddies traveling all around the world. That's what I miss. I didn't have to be some kind of image at the club. I just had to be Commiso at the club. Yeah, you all bringing back girls to fair. And I won't name people's names. But they really, I was like, next weekend, I'm going to try again and talk to a girl in a different club. And then I'm going to try, if not, they're playing good music here anyways. And my battle buddy's still here. There were times, I was new. There were times I bet where's Commiso at? He was just here. Because I'm so happy. I just wander out the bar. And I didn't venture to the next bar or the club or the whatever was going on that night in Europe, in that country, at that time. So I feel like everybody in Germany knew Commiso was in Germany. Not because there's some kind of social media online, because you heard my laugh at the club. You heard my laugh at the bar. You heard my laugh down the street. You heard my laugh at the restaurant. You heard my laugh in the other country. When I was still in Germany, somehow they heard my laugh in the other country before I even got to the other country. Because I was happy. I didn't know what everybody was fighting about in the world. I said, what's wrong with everybody? It seems like everybody's having a good time. What's going on? I said, let's dance. So I'm like, I try to dance hip-hop. I try to dance music. I try to dance country music. I try to dance Spanish music. They taught me some kind of move, Spanish people, to dance. As long as you know how to dance this one move. You only need one move to dance in the Spanish music. I learned how to dance to every music, and nobody taught. People taught me some dance moves, but I felt like I had some dance moves of myself. Once you taught me the move, I was like, but how uptight the internet is. I can't do that no more. Everybody, I can't do it no more. Where's the happiness, Commiso? Because life was simple in the barracks with Commiso. We all made formation. We all somehow even How the heck we made formation the next day and do PT with the first sergeant? All the bars are closed that Commiso went to. I said, but I did it. And I was still happy. I said, I can run down the street. And you don't think a first sergeant will run with the squad? But he did. I said, he must know where to go. He's the first sergeant. He must know where to go, where he's the first sergeant. So I was like, wow. We went under bridges. We went over bridges. We went through woods in Germany. We went through a castle. He said, this first sergeant knows where everything is. So when everybody was pissed off to a PT, I was smiling with the first. He said, hey, come on, Commiso, we're going to run up these stairs and see where this takes us. I said, okay, first sergeant. I felt like Forrest Gump. You know, when Forrest Gump was looking at the sun off the beach and then the lighthouses and it was a beautiful landscape he saw as far as, I had the same feeling. I said, that sun's there. Oh man, the sun's up and it's the next day. What are we going to do? We got 3 more days to do something in Europe. I was happy with the one day. They could have just gave me a 1-day weekend in Europe, and I would be just happy with what they gave me. I didn't want to question it. I said, maybe the higher ranks doesn't know they're giving me a 4-day. They can't count the higher. When you get up in the higher ranks, you can't count. They don't know it's a 4-day. Don't tell them it's a 4-day. So every time we get done the ranges, we got done the training, we just like, fuck it. We didn't care. They said, we didn't care to hand in the uniform. When they said to hand in the uniform, we didn't care. So you still got your uniform? Oh, well, it seems like it. Now turn in your uniform, Commiso. And everybody, Commiso, turn in your uniform. Then we can have a 4-day and go on a weekend. I said, okay, that sounds fun. So I was like, here, match the serial number, here, match the whatever, here, let's take the goddamn thing. I don't care. So that's how we were so eager to get back to the barracks after war. I felt like every battle buddy was so happy to get back to. They could have kept me at the Freiburg. They didn't have to change me around. I wish they kept me at Freiburg. Hey, Commiso, you want to stay in Freiburg, Germany 4 more years? Yeah, okay. And I would trick the military when I'd take a vacation. Because the military, you can take cool vacations in the military. Once you make the higher rank happy, it's not tricking the higher rank. I wonder if they know that I'm just a specialist. Shh. Don't tell the other higher ranks that I'm just a specialist. They won't give me a 4K. All right, Commiso, have a good weekend. I said, who? First Sergeant, who? Commander, whatever, sir. Oh, sir. It's easy once they get into being a lieutenant. They just say, sir. I don't know if it was a trick. I didn't know it was a trick. So I said, hurry up. I said, hurry up, battle buddy. We got to put our civilian clothes on. Hurry up, put your civilian clothes on. Lock up your thing. As long as you got a lock on your thing, they'll be all happy and everything. What's your stuff? Get your civilian clothes on. Hurry up. For they figure out they gave us weekend. So the sergeant comes back. And the sergeant's right next to you. Come on, Commiso, we gotta get out of the barracks. Hurry up. The other sergeants are coming. Okay, sergeant. Hey, we get up early. We said we learned how to get up early in the military. So we made our flights. We made the train. We got up and said, hey, the sun's up. We ate breakfast. We survived. A goofy guy survived traveling the world by himself and had battle buddies to guide him. I had battle buddies to guide me the way. And I experienced things for the first time. And I don't understand why people are mad in the world. Because if you see the world as Commiso does, when you see the world for the first time, you all saw them pool hall. Oh, it's corny to keep going to the pool hall. But my battle buddies went to the pool hall, and I got a free drink when I went there. And you don't have to stay at the pool hall. We all run around like we're going to. I'm like, that's how happy I was, and I was a young motherfucker. And now I'm all old and sadness. They're all dragging me down with all this napalm bullshit online. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know people have time to even do that anymore. Because there's a world out there online that people don't see the world. That's why